What are some qualities of communication that we can receive from high vibrational beings? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. So thanks so much for joining me. My name is Christine from Kyanite Psychic Services, and I love to help highly sensitive and creative souls build confidence and trust in their gifts and abilities. And if you'd like to learn more about me and my services, please do visit kyanitepsychic.com. First thing that I want to say with regard to this topic is that there's so many different types of non-physical beings that vibrate at a myriad of different frequencies. Some will be higher than ours, and some will be lower than ours, and some might be similar, close to ours. And that's important to consider because our guides and angels that are here to help us on our path in this life, they are naturally going to vibrate at a higher frequency than ours, because part of why they're here is to help us raise our frequency and vibration as we continue on our journey through this life, right? So when we're seeking to connect to our guides and receive communication, what are some of the qualities of high vibrational spirit communication? Here's a few to consider. First is that it is concise, meaning it's a few words or phrases, keywords even. I know this has absolutely been the case in my experience and also in the experience of many colleagues, teachers, and mentors. It's to the point and concise, not a whole bunch of run-on sentences or a giant monologue that you have to try to get everything down, right? It's to the point. High vibrational communication also speaks to your direct experience, meaning it's going to apply to where you're at on your path right now. Even if the message might take a little while to unpack and to let that relevance unfold, it will be speaking to your direct experience. And if you're asking a question, the answer will be directly in response to your question, not taking a hard left and talking about 5 million other things, right? Another really important quality of high vibrational spirit communication is that it respects your free will. If I could bold, highlight, and underline it, I would. Put it in big letters on the screen. Maybe I'll do that. But it respects your free will because we are sovereign. We have free will. And all non-physical beings know this. But high vibrational beings respect this. And that is a very important distinction to make. And one to really, if you're going to take anything from this video and hold it close to your heart, that's it. Right? So the communication is not going to give you an ultimatum. You do this or else, ... You have to, you must. That kind of language is not high vibrating because we have free will. We get to choose what we do, how we move forward at any moment on our path. And so they will respect that. Communication from high vibrational beings is supportive and compassionate. It can contain tough love and honesty. Definitely been my experience as a stubborn individual. But it's not going to insult you or put you down. Like, why are you doing that again? You always do this, or hurl any kind of insulting language at you. No, that is not high vibrational. It's always going to support you in your next steps. And the last highlight that I want to share, it's for all of us out there that are feelers, that are very clairsentient or empathic. Communication from high vibrational beings will bring with it feelings of peace and love. Even if the words take a while to unfold, the meaning takes a while to unfold, you'll feel peace as you receive that communication. Your body will feel relaxed. It'll just wash over you, feeling of being loved and supported. So it's really important to pay attention to how you feel when you're receiving communication from spirit. It can be an important indicator of the energy and vibration of the being that you're talking to. So on the flip side, I think it's important to speak to that, right? Communication from beings that vibrate at a lower frequency than you, well, it's going to have opposite qualities, right? It may not respect your boundaries or your free will. It might contain ultimatums, strong language, do this, you have to do that. Again, all beings know that you have free will, but lower vibrational beings may not respect it or might try to suggest otherwise. It may not be kind. And also might be very verbose, might not be directly speaking to your questions or to your experience, might just take a hard left and go on a tangent. And then for those of us feelers, again, it may feel uncomfortable. You might start to experience tension in the body, even headaches. I know I've had that experience before. Just unease and feel uneasy. So it's important, again, to pay attention to how you feel when you are communicating with spirit. Some food for thought with all this in mind. Higher vibrating and lower vibrating do not necessarily immediately and always equate with good, bad. Meaning that a non-physical being that vibrates at a lower frequency than you is not necessarily bad or evil. An example of this, say you have a loved one that has passed on. In spirit, they may vibrate at a lower frequency than you do right now. That does not make them bad. It's just a fact, right? Potentially. But it does mean that you may want to take anything they have to say with a grain of salt. It does mean they might not respect your boundaries. They may not immediately, consider your free will, even though they know you have it. It does mean they might go on a tangent when you try to communicate with them, right? So it doesn't always equate good, bad. And I just think it's important to really consider that. And for us to hold compassion for all beings, really, we can still have healthy boundaries, but we can also have compassion. That all being said, if you're experiencing communication that is impeding on your boundaries, it makes you uncomfortable, that's lower vibrating and affecting your quality of life, in addition to working with protection tools and calling in your highest guides and angels to help you hold your space, it's important to really check in on your mental health and to get guidance as needed or treatment as needed. And I think that's not spoken about often enough in spiritual places and spaces, and that, in my opinion, is unfortunate. There shouldn't be any shame around taking care of your mental health, because it's important for us to really, have a holistic approach to our wellness of mind, body, and spirit. So if you're experiencing that, please do seek help or treatment as needed. Take a holistic approach to your well-being. There's nothing wrong with that. So I hope that this video has helped you start to cultivate some discernment and to have those checkpoints of, okay, this is high vibrational communication, or nope, this is not. And I do have a few resources to share of my offerings that are also, speaking to this topic. A few protection meditations that have you working with protection tools in those guided meditations. I also have a workshop on clairaudience that goes deeper into that psychic sense and ability, but also as part of this workshop, as you bring in and start to work with a clairaudience guide, and this guide will help you practice greater discernment in the other beings that you seek to connect with. So I think that can be a really wonderful next step after this video. And I also do have a psychic protection workshop. I'll link all of that below. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like, consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.